Hi, today I'm going to talk about a very different game called Catherine. It's funny because I always found this game very difficult. It was always a challenge to get through each level, but the engaging story, the choices, the characters, the soundtrack, and the UI ended up fascinating me. I also love the ship in this game and how they are incorporated into the story. Plus, the game clearly resembles Persona in its graphics, since it was also made by Atlas. And now let's get to the video. Title and settings. This is the Catherine Classic title screen. Pressing any button will take you to the main menu, where you can see Catherine, and below her you will find Golden Theater, which begins the game story mode. Babel is a competitive mode that you can play with 1 or 2 people, and it's recommended that you play it when you know more about the game. And the configuration. In the configurations we have the display tab, where you can adjust the resolution, display, and VSync. All button styles are the same in all configuration tabs. Here we only have these buttons that you click using the arrow to change the option. In graphics we have a few small things we can tweak. In audio we can adjust all aspects of the game's sound. In game we can adjust the language of the text, mouse sensitivity, and some control settings. In input, we have button settings and key mapping. Unlike the base game settings on PS3, on PC you can adjust many more things, and you can always revert or return to the default settings, apply and exit. When you select to play story mode, you can create a new game or load the game. When starting a new game, you can choose between the following difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. From the beginning, the game shows you that it's difficult and recommends that you play on easy, because even on normal things start to get challenging. If you're still stubborn and want to play on normal, it will even confirm with you if that's really what you want. This is the loading screen, very simple with a broken heart in the corner. Here we can see the save screen. The load screen is almost the same as this one. Here we can see the saves in a sort of disorganized list. Their borders are barbed wire. Inside them we have the save number, the title of the mission, and the total playtime. And when selecting to save to an existing save, this confirmation modal appears next to it. And here we can see the save screen, but when you're using your phone in the game. I will give more details about it later, because it has several functions in this game, which is a really cool thing that adds more dynamism to the game. It has the same information as the first save screen, even the same confirmation message when trying to overwrite the save. Text and modals. Here we can see the dialogue texts. They always have this black background with opacity, the name of the speaker with a line underneath, and the text in white. Here we have an options modal that is frequently used in the game. It features white letters and a pink background that looks like painting coming from a brush next to the option you want to choose. These are the cutscene texts, all in white and centered. This is like a transition screen that they use to talk about things in the story. In the game there are many models that look like this. You will see them throughout the entire game. Here are the texts when you go to choose something in the confessional. The letters look like they are floating, and the question always appears in pink. In this game, when you vote in the confessional, you can see what other players voted, only if you're playing in online mode. The title always looks like blood is coming out of the letters, and in the graphics graphic, pink represents woman and blue represents man. Here we have a confirmation model that is very used in the game settings. Whenever we have a tutorial coming from the ship that you find at the checkpoint, the texts turn green to indicate that they are a tutorial text on new techniques. Game states. In the game states, we have things like the Babel game mode levels. Here it explains what each level is like. We have arrows to change levels on the sides, and the difficulty level of the stage is represented by the red ship standing there in the background. This is when you enter the dream world and move towards to the phase of climbing. When you start a new level, this intro appears telling you where you are on the map and also the name of the level. Here we have the pause screen when you are sitting at the bar. We have two game overs screens. One for when you can't climb the blocks and fall, then your body appears on the blocks. And if you die for other reasons, this screen appears with the same functions as the previous one, but without the blocks. To retry, you can use a life represented by pillows and try the level again or return to the main menu. When you complete a level, one of these two victory screens appears. Here it counts how many points you scored in the level, adds it all up with your progress, and at the end you can even win a trophy for how good you were in that level. And at the end of each main level of the chapter, if you did well enough, you win a trophy and it appears large next to you. This screen displays the ranking of people who have completed the altar stage in Babel mode. At the top, you can navigate between the other game maps. On the pause screen in the blocks section, again with barbed wire borders, a broken heart, and the colors pink, black, and white. If you want to restart the level, it still asks if you want to go back to the checkpoint or the beginning. HUD and overlays. The game's HUD is very simple and clean. On the left is the game map, and the only way to win is going up. Your character appears in pink and moves as you climb. In red, just below your character, is something trying to kill you, and you need to climb faster than it to avoid dying. Below the map is the menu button. Next to it are 3 bottles that, if you consume 3 glasses of alcohol during your time at the bar, maximizes the protagonist's agility, allowing him to move more quickly between blocks during climbing puzzles. And the last icon is a button that you can press to go back a few steps you've taken while climbing. You can only go back a maximum of 10 steps. An overlay appears on the screen showing the icon when you go back a step, and when you reach the limit it turns red. On the right we can see your coins, your pillows, which are basically your lives that you can use to replay the level. Each time you climb a block you earn points that accumulate and create a combo that multiplies your points, which turn into coins at the end. Below there's a bar that resets to 0 if you don't climb another block, and it multiplies your points with the combo you got. Finally, below is a usable item that provides some advantages in climbing. To get these items, you can collect them by climbing or talking to the fat sheep who sells items for coins in exchange. This game is packaged with contextual buttons for everything you can do or interact with in the world. There's a contextual button, which is a really cool feature that allows you to explore places, clicking on everything to see what happens. I think this makes the game very dynamic and fun, especially in the exploration aspect. In this game, we have a karma system. Depending on what you do or say to someone, it influences your karma, which can be negative or positive, represented by a little devil or angel. And whenever you do something related to karma, these little angels appear with a meter next to them. Extras. For the extras, I included things like the tutorials with the sheep. They are always really cool and they are all narrated in addition to the text below. Another really cool thing is that when you're using your cell phone, you can see received and sent messages, your awards, and save your game. A great example of what cell phones were in the past. In the inbox tab, we have the messages received by the character. We have icons indicating which ones you have already read or not. We can scroll down if you want to see an old message, and when opening a message, we have its text and below it some action that changes depending on the message. For example, this would be if you replied a message you received. You only do this if you have the option to do so. You can't do it for all messages. Here another thing that can happen. The person might send you some images. Be careful not to open them just anywhere. When you click to view the image, you can see all of them. In the Out tab, we have everything you've sent. If you want to review something, just select it. In the Awards tab, you will find all the prizes you've earned by completing the climbing stages. Clicking on one will show you the description and, in some cases, even see a picture of the trophy. And finally, we have the jukebox, which you can use to change the bar's music to one you've already unlocked. On it, you can see if the song is new, its title, where it came from, and below you can play their song or exit. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks!